Okay folks, today we're not being too keto specific, although today's video does have to do with weight loss. And I just wanted to share my experiences with how weight loss changed me as a person. So if you've never seen any of my videos or visited my channel, welcome. My name's Allie and I lost 170 pounds. I started my diet in 2015 and I reached my goal weight of 150 pounds in 2017. So I used to weigh 320 and now I don't. And life has changed so much. Honestly, sometimes it's hard to remember what it was like being a fat person, even though my entire life I was fat before starting keto. But I just really wanted to make this video to share my experiences. I've made a video like this before, I'm pretty sure, but you know, ideas change, your opinions change. So let's talk about it. Now, I do feel like sometimes when people talk about weight loss, it can seem a little braggy, and that is not the intention of this video. This video is to be entertaining, motivational, a warning, or just for people who think that maybe, you know, I'm going through this. Is anybody else experiencing this? So even though to me some things might feel like I'm bragging, that's not the intention at all. So with that disclaimer, let's go ahead and talk about how major weight loss changes you as a person. So yes, losing weight changes the way you look and people treat you differently. I mean, that's probably one of the main reasons people want to lose weight. You have health and you have like social relationship things, you know, and these are like probably the two biggest reasons. So today we're focusing on these relationships with others and the relationship that you have with yourself as a person. So when you change the way you look, people are going to treat you different. I think that this has two different reasons. Sure, people are going to be more open to you if they like the way that you look, and traditionally, you know, in our society, if you're overweight, that's seen as something that's not desirable. So if you lose weight and you get to a healthy weight and you look like you're at a healthy weight, people are going to be wanting to interact with you more. I mean, that's just nature, I think, human nature. So I think that that's half of what's going on. And I think that the other half is that you as a person are much more confident. And so you kind of have this cycle of people treating you better, which makes you more confident, which makes people want to interact with you more and treat you better. And so it's like this self-feeding cycle. And it's kind of great. I mean, I think I've gotten pretty used to it. It's kind of hard to remember what people treated me like when I was fat. But I just remember not liking it. I felt so insecure. I felt like people didn't want to listen to me. I feel like I didn't have a space to say my thoughts, you know, and now I feel like I do have that. I feel like I can get people's attention when I speak because they're actually listening to me now, when I didn't feel that when I was fat. But again, that feeds my confidence, which makes me more outgoing, which makes people want to interact with me more, you know, it creates a cycle. And of course, this is going to affect your dating life and relationships and family and friends. So dating. Now, before I lost weight back in college, I tried online dating. It was kind of hit or miss. Like, I met a couple people, but I met way more people online dating after I lost my weight. I'll be honest, it was super easy as a woman at a normal weight to get the attention of, you know, potential men I would date online. I thought that would happen, and it did. And again, it boosts the confidence. Because you're going on these dates with so many people, you kind of learn how to interact a little bit better. Because I used to be a person who was so shy and afraid of meeting people and afraid of getting into these social interactions, that once I lost weight and they started happening more and more, I just built this confidence in meeting people. And now it's not a thing. Like, I don't mind meeting people. In fact, I love going out and meeting people. Also, in regards to dating, I value myself more. And I know that that sounds horrible. Like, I didn't value myself as a fat girl. I just had really low self-esteem, and I wasn't as attractive to as many people as I am now. So that kind of makes you value your own time more. It makes you value your worth. You know, it makes you able to choose who you actually want to go on a date with, rather than settling for somebody because they don't mind that you're fat. You're finding people who find you really attractive and you find them really attractive. And I also think that, you know, not just dating and relationships, but also family and friend relationships. I do feel that I have a lot more social clout now that I've lost weight with my family and friends. Like, I feel like I can gather people, get them to, you know, see something from my point of view. I feel like I can like plan things and people are gonna show up to it kind of thing. And I never felt that way before. In fact, one time when I was fat and in college, I planned this New Year's Eve party. Nobody showed up. Actually, one person showed up and we played like a board game or something. It was real sad, okay? Feel sad for Fat Allie. But I don't know, and even if nobody did show up or one or two people did show up, I feel like I could still make it a thing and have fun and not be so torn up inside. That's just how I view things now. And I feel like I have a little bit more pull when it comes to like family issues. And so I do just have this little bit more sense of power in my relationships. Losing weight in relationships really helps you realize who's worth your time. You know, you've put all this time into yourself, you know, what's important to you, and go spend your time working on that. So my relationship with the man, most important thing to me right now in my life. That's who I want to spend time with. I'm not gonna let other people waste my time unless I really want to go hang out or spend time with other people. I would say it makes you more cutthroat in a way, which is a really interesting experience coming from somebody who wanted to used to just accommodate all these people so that they would like her. And now I'm just like, I don't care if you like me. I like me. My boyfriend likes me. I'm going to go hang out with him if I want to. You know, I don't know. That's just how I am. Those are just my thoughts about that. But the last little bit when it comes to who you are as a person and, you know, relationships is, you know, even though I'm still the same person, yes, I've changed, I've aged, I've gained life experience, I've lost weight, I've changed what I look like and my personality. I'm still deep down pretty shy and I can get really quiet, you know, if I'm feeling nervous about something. And I think a lot of the time that comes off as snootiness. And so people now don't see, oh, the shy fat girl. They see the snooty skinny girl. And so I feel like I really have to balance that and just say how I feel. Oh man, I'm nervous. You know, I feel like I have to be much more open. Like people don't just see that. I fear that I come off as like the snooty skinny girl sometimes when I really don't mean to do that. Like that's, I'm self-conscious about that. So when I was fat, you know, it was harder to go shopping. And I love shopping now. I loved shopping when I was fat. It was just really hard to do and a little depressing. You know, I always wanted to dress well. And I felt like clothes were a way that I could kind of like make myself look better, even though I had weight on me kind of thing. The thing was, you know, I struggled finding clothes that fit. So if I found something that looked okay and fit, I was gonna buy it when I was fat. You know, it didn't matter if I didn't quite like the pattern or the color. I mean, I look back at some of my, you know, the clothes that I wore a lot, and I wore some pretty questionable things that just because they fit and maybe showed off like one feature that I had, like I still bought it and I still wore it even though it wasn't my favorite. But now I am so much more discerning about the clothes that I wear. If you've seen these two videos, my house tour and this video I made a long time ago about spending habits when it comes to clothes, I have a lot of clothes and I've accumulated all those clothes in the past 4 years or so, and when I hit my goal weight in 2017. And it's been a struggle because now I know what I like. I know it looks good on me and I can find it in so many places. It's not just like, you know, oh, I found this one thing for the first time in 6 months that fits and looks okay because I'm fat. I'm finding all these things every time I look at things online or in person. My shopping habits have changed. I know what I'm looking for. So if I find something that's got an element of what I want, I'm gonna try it on, and if it looks good, I'm gonna buy it, which is, I gotta work on that. But like, for example, I know that I like lower cut things. I don't want a crew cut neckline. I feel like that makes my neck look fat. And you know, I've had a fat neck all my life and I'm gonna elongate the neck now. So like now it's kind of like I'm trying to weed out things that I don't want. So if a shirt does have a crew neck, I'm probably not gonna buy it. Versus when I was fat, you know, if it just kind of fit and I could afford it and it wasn't the ugliest thing, I would buy it kind of thing. So that's just kind of how shopping has changed. But again, now because I have more options, because I can fit into more clothing, I gotta budget better. I'm buying too much. I think losing weight has made me more understanding of others because now I've seen both sides of the weight spectrum. I know what it's like to live as a fat person in our society, and now I know what it's like to live as a slender person in our society, and I know the hardships and the benefits, and I see the privilege I have over here versus, you know, what I lacked over here. And I think that that makes me a more sympathetic and empathetic person. Like, just because I know the struggle of what it is to be fat, and now I know that not everybody has to deal with that. So I do try and remind myself, like, not to bring up the F word with other people. Oh my gosh, because when I was fat, I didn't want to hear the F word, fat, ever in conversation, because I was usually the fattest person in the room. So if somebody brought up the F word, I just automatically felt like people were like looking at me thinking, oh, well, yeah, she's fat. She's the F word right here. This is what we're talking about. I try not to bring up weight or BMI, because when we were watching, you know, the news in school when I was a kid, they'd talk about BMI with like these headless shots of fat people walking around a mall, and I would just feel like all the eyes were on me. So I try not to talk about anything that has to do with weight or size around other people, because I know it stings. And you know, when I was fat, I had a lot of self-hatred and I had a lot of envy all throughout my fat life. And so I just remember feeling so envious of people who were at a normal, healthy weight, who didn't struggle with childhood obesity or being tall like I am. I just wanted to be normal so bad. And so I try and remember that when interacting with others, especially if they're overweight. Try not to notice it. I mean, sometimes it's just right there, and so I just try and ignore everything. I try not to talk about weight because I don't want somebody to feel envious of me if they don't know my whole backstory. I don't know. I try and overcompensate, I guess, for other people. So something I've realized ever since I hit my goal weight is that my vision of what is technically fat has shifted. I look around now at people who are considered normal weight and people whose bodies I would have killed for in high school, right? And I'm thinking, wow, I wonder if they're actually a little bit overweight when it comes to like actual health and BMI and stuff. I don't know. And I know that that sounds bad. I'm not trying to judge anybody, but I know how I look at my weight and I'm in a normal range. And so people who are heavier than me, who look heavier, I wonder, are they actually technically obese? I don't know. Have we as a society come to this point where it's hard to tell when people are obese? Because it's become so common to be overweight / obese if you're in, you know, this margin. Are people actually healthy? I don't know. Is it any of my business? Probably not. Just wondering about it though. And so again, too, people look at my videos and they're like, you're too skinny. I used to get that a lot, especially on my older videos. And I'm like, actually, I'm right in the middle of health weight. So I don't know. I guess the obesity epidemic of our country and society have gotten to the point where people who are overweight / slightly obese are seen as normal, whereas people who are at a healthy weight are seen as underweight. Why do I care? Yeah, I care about people's health, you know, especially young kids who really don't have the choice if their parents are letting them get fat. But again, like, their health is none of my business. What I identify most with is people who are insecure, who hate their bodies because they feel insecure about their weight. Like, that's what gets me, and that's where I have issues with obesity and being overweight. I'm trying to say things in a nice way without seeming too judgmental. But honestly, these things pop across my head and I don't know. I think it's good to talk about sometimes. So losing weight makes you realize that in all of life, there is no magic pill that's just gonna fix everything for you. I had to hit rock bottom when I started losing weight for the first time for real in my whole life with keto, because I had to do it. I had to make this mental shift to say, I'm actually going to try and I'm going to keep going. And, you know, once I saw results, it was easier to keep going and stay motivated. But there was no pill for me to take that would just magically make me lose weight. And that knowledge has crossed over into all aspects of my life, you know. You want to get out of the rent rat race and you want to buy a house, guess what? You're going to have to fix your credit. You're going to have to save up some money. You're going to have to make all those uncomfortable phone calls with your lender and insurance people and a real estate agent. And you're going to have to take time on the weekend and go look at houses. You know, it's this way in every aspect of adult life. You want more money? Well, you better learn a new skill. Put in the work on like a side job, or, you know, go back to school or something. It's not just gonna fall into your hands. So losing weight has changed all these other aspects, especially of my adult life, where I realize, like, if I want something to change, I've got to do it. I've got to get that change, you know, set in motion. I can't depend on anybody else to make those changes. And that's true in relationships too. You know, if something makes me unhappy, I've got to be the one to communicate, you know, that this is making me unhappy and I think this is how we should fix it. You know, I've got to start that communication sometimes. And in a way that really makes me see through the excuses that other people have. And I know that some people actually do have health issues that prevent them from losing weight. I think that those are very, very, very rare. And I'm not trying to be mean. But at the end of the day, you've got to understand that probably you're just overeating. And that's, I've had people ask me, I tried keto, but it's just not working. And I'm like, well, have you seen any of my videos? Have you done any research? Have you read anything? Oh no, you haven't. Well, here's 190 videos for you right here. I see through the excuses now because I used to make those same excuses. PCOS. I still have PCOS. I just got a scan a year ago and it said evidence of PCOS on it or something like that. You can't let these things hold you back. It just means that you've got to try a little bit harder maybe. But honestly, it's just, you got to make that mental shift. You have to change your identity with food or whatever you're trying to change in your life to get to your goals. Because if you want your life to change, it starts with you changing your mindset and your habits and your beliefs. Honestly, that's how any type of actual change is affected in someone's life. They just make the decision to change and then they complete actions that progress them towards that change. But do let me know what you guys think. Am I just talking ridiculousness? Am I just, being an armchair sociologist, anthropologist? Let me know. Do you agree with Allie's, views on life now that she's lost weight, I suppose? If you enjoyed the video, please do not forget to like and subscribe. I have so many videos that talk about not just keto weight loss, but weight loss in general, how life changes, things you learn, how to stop plateaus. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, I will link all of that down below. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Allie. Have a good one. Bye.